Good evening and welcome to a very special interview show of the Prode. Political power in Pakistan has shifted from Imran Khan to Shehbaz Sharif after a very high voltage political drama. Was the Pak army neutral in the whole political crisis, or they were just pretending to be so? Is it so that there was a foreign power involved in the regime change, or it was just propaganda by Imran Khan? To talk about all this and much more about the ongoing political crisis in Pakistan, I'm joined by a very special guest from London, Mr. Arif Aajakia. Arif is a renowned human rights and social media activist and a YouTuber with more than 3.5 lakh subscribers. He's also a commentator on international relations and geopolitical affairs and a very strong Pakistan watcher. Thank you so much, sir, for your time and a very warm welcome to the show.
Thank you very much for inviting me.
Also, sir, I would like to begin the discussion by asking that there actually a foreign conspiracy against Imran Khan to remove him from power, or it was just a political propaganda by Mr. Khan? And if it was a propaganda, what did Mr. Khan achieve from this?
Well, I don't like Imran Khan at all. In fact, I hate. The matter of fact is that yes, there was involvement, because there are certain things we should know before going forward. That in Pakistan was created with a designs by West, America and England, and it is a buffer state of USA. It serves purposes of America in the region. The region where there are three superpowers, three military and economic powers, Russia, China, and India. And America or England, they don't have a border here, so they wanted a country. So Pakistan. Then Pakistan could not be an agent of America if there is a democracy. So they never allowed democracy to flourish here, and Pakistan army became their biggest agent. So it is Pakistan's army which never allowed Pakistanis to choose their political representatives, and they decided major issues. Once before Imran Khan, it happened that Pakistan's civilian and political leadership tried to come out of American influence, and that was Zulfikar Ali Bhutto in 1970s. After 71 war, Bhutto decided that Pakistan should shift from USA to Russia and China, because in 1971, USA did not support Pakistan militarily against India. And the result was that Pakistan army brought a coup in Pakistan in 1977. Ziaullah came and they hanged Bhutto. Now this time, what Imran Khan did were three major issues that America did not like at all, especially during this global crisis of Russia-Ukraine, where America is in the real trouble. America and Europe, inflation is going high because of the war. The gas and electricity, they depend on Russia. So in all these scenarios, first thing happened was the last year, 14 August 2021, ISI, superseding Pakistan army. With Imran Khan, they brought Taliban in Afghanistan with overwhelming power, which America did not like. And Bajwa, the chief of army staff of Pakistan army, did not like this also. And he transferred DGISI from ISI to Commander Peshawar. And we started hearing that there is a tug of war in army between Bajwa group and Faiz Hamid group, and Imran Khan was supported by Faiz Hamid group. The second thing Imran Khan tried, which Bhutto also tried, was the creation of Islamic bloc, Islamophobia resolution in United Nations, and trying to create an Islamic bloc with Turkey and making an anti-America, anti-West alliance. And the third and last thing was that when the day Putin invaded Ukraine, Imran Khan was sitting beside Putin. And that was the harshest thing that America expected from Pakistan, because Pakistan, after all, is a slave of America. And we call it Bikaristan because we a ball, begging ball, and always go to America, like the government of Shehbaz Sharif, It is not even 1 week old, and the finance minister of this government is sitting in with a begging bowl and begging to IMF and World Bank. So America ordered Bajwa to bring a regime change. There is no doubt that this was for the sake of enemy with Imran Khan. I would say it is true. But then Imran Khan, what he did and what he is doing, trying to create a civil unrest and civil war in Pakistan, it shows that Imran Khan is not matured enough. As a Pakistani, if you, it's a very dangerous game that Imran Khan is playing. But
Yes, sir.
me, at of Pakistan, I would love to see Pakistan falling more in this trap.
Yeah. So, what will be the impact of these false allegations by Imran Khan on the Pakistan-US relationship? Can you kindly put some light on the fact that how does the
Well,
White House, how does the Pentagon see Pakistan today?
well, I America directly. What Imran Khan says that America sent dollars and America bought Pakistan's members of parliament and senate and opposition parties. No, this thing is done by our army. It's not America. America simply shows to General Bajwa, they showed their dissatisfaction with Pakistan's civil government, and they said that they are not serving our purpose, and I think there should be a change of regime. Now, this is a job of Pakistan army. They are used to do it in every election that we call Lota. Lota is a member of parliament who changes his alliance with different parties according to the instructions of Pakistan army. Like before 2018 election, 51 members of National Assembly, they changed their belonging and joined PTI on the instructions of army at that time. So I I think that this time Bajwa ordered his lotas to come out of Imran Khan's alliance, because Imran Khan in 2018 got only 30% vote and he did not have a majority. So, like in Bharat, we have Gathbandhan. So, in Pakistan also, there were Gathbandhan alliances, political alliances. So, all these small parties which were supporting Imran Khan, they broke alliance and they went to the opposition parties. So, opposition parties showed their majority in assembly.
Yeah. So there have been numerous debates around the fact that there is a divide in the Pakistani army, and there are two blocks: one who supports Imran and the other who doesn't. So, what is your assessment?
Well, there are, and one group is not happy with Bajwa, because you know what happens, that when an army chief gets extension of 3 years, normally his retirement age comes, but it takes extension of 3 years. It means that next in line, the officers and generals, they don't get a chance of promotion, and that there it comes the satisfaction. So when last time Bajwa took extension, many army officers shows their displeasure that it is not good, because then we don't get a chance to come forward, and we have to retire at our retirement age, because Bajwa has stopped the way for promotions. And now we were hearing that Bajwa is seeking his another extension of 3 years in November 2022. And there was a growing resentment in Pakistan army. General Faiz Hamid, who is corps commander of Peshawar, he brought a kind of coup within the army, and many ex-army men also joined him. And finally, Bajwa had to declare that I am not seeking any extension in November 22, and I will retire in November 22. So there will be a new army chief in November 22. So now the group, Faiz Hamid group is getting weaker. and Bajwa is taking control of the army. But yes, there was a situation of very much disunity in army.
Yeah. So there was also a conspiracy theory going on in Pakistan that General Bajwa and Lieutenant General Nadeem Anjum came to Banigala in a helicopter and slapped Mr. Khan and threatened him to, complete the vote of no confidence as soon as possible. So what is the actual truth? Do you think that event like this might have happened, or it's just a fake news?
Well, constitutionally and legally, opposition played very good, and they went for a no confidence move. And Imran Khan tried to do unconstitutional things like sacking of government and parliament and dissolving the National Assembly, asking new elections, which was unconstitutional because once a prime minister has no confidence move against him, he cannot dissolve National Assembly. So the Supreme Court ordered him to, the Supreme Court restored National Assembly and ordered him and Speaker of National Assembly to go with no confidence vote. And Imran Khan and his speaker refused to do it. And then we heard from some reliable sources that Imran Khan issued a letter of sacking Bajwa and appointing General Faiz Hamid as new army chief. And he was waiting in Prime Minister House for a helicopter of Faiz Hamid. But suddenly helicopter came and it was not Faiz Hamid but Bajwa and DG ISI General Nadeem Anjum. And they came to Imran Khan and there was a very big argument and uh, there was very much harsh argument between them. And finally, one of the majors who accompanied Bajwa, he slapped Imran Khan. And Bajwa ordered Imran Khan to leave Prime Minister immediately. And then we know what happened in National Assembly. Another man took a speaker's seat and the no confidence movement.
Yeah. So coming to the present prime minister, so what is your overall assessment of Shehbaz Sharif as a leader, and how will be the relations of Pakistan be with India as well as the United States in his tenure as a prime minister?
Uh, Pakistan Army never allowed political culture to flourish in Pakistan. Now, what choice we have? We don't have Imran Khan, so we have Shehbaz Sharif. Who is Shehbaz Sharif? Facing charges of corruption of billions of rupees. He and his son, who has become Chief Minister of Punjab. Now, Prime Minister, his son, Chief Minister of Punjab, ruling family since beginning, because before it was Nawaz Sharif, Prime Minister of Pakistan, Shehbaz Sharif, Chief Minister of Punjab. They both, father and son, are facing charges of corruption of billions of rupees, and they both are on bail. So bail was going to expire before the oath of Prime Minister, and he had to request court to extend the bail so that he can become Prime Minister. Now the cabinet which has sworn in day before yesterday, 34-member cabinet, 24 are on bail. So what happens if their bail is cancelled and cabinet meeting would be in jail? Governor of Sindh appointed by Shehbaz Sharif is in jail. So he is a governor in jail. So this is the kind of political leadership we have in Pakistan, and that suits the agenda of Pakistan Army and America.
Yeah. So do you think
And
that in
after all, Shehbaz Sharif, what power he has got? Yeah, yeah.
yeah. So do you think that in his tenure, Pakistan is going to be a bit soft towards
Now,
India in its
Shehbaz
approach?
Sharif, he does not have any power because Imran Khan, as Prime Minister, was the Prime Minister.
Yeah. Yes, sir. So do you think, sir, that that in his tenure, Pakistan is going to be a bit soft towards India in its approach?
Well, it's up to Army of Pakistan. And army decides on major of issues like Kashmir, like in relationship with India, like Pakistan, like military budget. no civilian government has power to decide on these things. So Shehbaz Sharif will be, of course, a dummy prime minister running day-to-day affairs like an office manager. He will run day-to-day affairs, but it's up to Pakistan army to decide on major issues.
Yeah. So, like the moment he, taken the oath of the prime minister, he said that he wants to, improve the relations between India and Pakistan. So, how do you see this?
Listen, Pakistan army, right from 1947, Pakistan did not need an army. Why do we need an army? Who is our enemy? Iran? Afghanistan? Why fearful of any neighboring countries? Pakistan came out of India. So India would not have attacked Pakistan all. So Pakistan did not need a massive army, but America needed an army in Pakistan. So to justify the sustenance of army, the need of army, they need an enemy. So they created an enemy of India. That India, such a huge power, is an enemy, and India does not want Pakistan to sustain and to prosper. So to Pakistanis, the army sells this churn that we are here to protect you. So more than 50% of our federal budget goes to army, and nobody can question because they have created a Kashmir issue, they created an army, enemy of India. Now, Nawaz Sharif, the brother of current Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif, in 2016 tried to establish trade relationship with India. And Prime Minister Narendra Modi flew to Lahore, not Islamabad, Lahore, in the personal home of Nawaz Sharif, and he went to meet Nawaz Sharif. And army started a campaign that jo Modi ka yaar hai, Gaddar hai. And Nawaz Sharif was ousted from power. So here I think that army would not allow Shehbaz Sharif to establish good relationship with India. And that's what happened in first speech of Shehbaz Sharif in National Assembly after becoming Prime Minister. Shehbaz Sharif said that we want a good relationship with India, but first India has to stop atrocities in Indian occupied Kashmir, and until the Kashmir issue is solved, we will not have a good relationship with India. So this is the language of army that Shehbaz Sharif is speaking, and army will never allow good relationship with India.
Yeah. So, I would like to conclude the discussion by asking that where do you see Pakistan's future in the coming few years? Is there any possibility of a civil war?
Uh, well, as per my personal assessment, civil war is on cards. Imran Khan had a massive gathering in Lahore yesterday, and where he said to his followers that wait for my call and we will go now going to Islamabad and blocking everything in Islamabad because Parliament, President House, Prime Minister House, Army is GHQ, and Supreme Court and foreign embassies. Islamabad is a very small city. It is a capital city and very small city. So if Imran Khan brings his power in Islamabad, then of course there will be army and civilians against each other. So we definitely see a civil war. Then we are seeing a war between Afghanistan and Pakistan because Pakistan airline bombers bombed Afghanistan's Kunar province day before yesterday and killed about 50 civilians. Then yesterday there was a suicide bombing in a school, two schools. Then today there was a bombing in a mosque, 50 killed. Now this has happened after Imran Khan going because Imran Khan was very much sympathetic to Taliban as the world knows him as Taliban Khan also. So he did not do this and America wanted Pakistan army to do this. And Taliban have warned that if we can fight America, we can fight Pakistan also. So, and Taliban, Tehrik-e-Taliban, Pakistan and others have waged attacks on Pakistan security forces in Pakistan. bordering area like Waziristan and Fatah. So it's a war going on Afghanistan front. Then in Balochistan also in recent weeks and days, we have seen that attacks on Pakistan military convoys has increased. So Pakistan army is facing a very tough situation. And I see it is only America that is saving Pakistan. But I think that now time has come that the world takes notice and Sindh and Balochistan are separated from Pakistan. That's what I see, if not in near future, definitely in future.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir, for your time. It was a pleasure having you, and thank you so much for putting your thoughts on these important issues. Thank you so much for joining.
Thank